अरे
So let us start. Mhm. So yesterday we discussed a combined loading of a on a cylindrical pressure vessel. Today is the third of okay. So you were discussing about the combined loading. And for that we know different expression for the different type of loading. One is the circumferential stress or hoop stress. Another axial stresses can be due to the uh, axial stress, maybe due to the weight of the vessel and its component and the liquid or fluid inside it, and maybe due to the wind load or piping load. Some of them is compressive in nature and some of them is tensile. So we also make a resultant force that is nothing but the Fa equal to F1 plus F2 plus F3. Okay, compressive stress notation is minus and axial stress or the tensile stress notation is positive. So this is the resultant of the all the loads in the axial direction. Another was the hoop stress or circumferential stress, and we also know the another type of loading that is due to the offset piping, that is the FS, and we know there are different expressions. Okay, so due to these three type of loading, we know the resulting stress or overall stress on the pressure vessel. The expression is Ft square minus Ft Fa plus Fa square plus 3Fa square. So these are the resulting loads or stress in the pressure vessel. And some satisfaction criteria or the checking criteria for the satisfactory design is also given, that is nothing but the this resultant force, if it is tensile, okay, if it is tensile, it should be less than equal to the tensile stress of the material, or the Fa, this one, Fa comes out to be tensile also, then that has to be also satisfy this condition, Ft of the material, tensile stress of the material. And if this Fa, okay, if this Fa, if it is comes out to be compressive, then it also have to be less than equal to the compressive stress of the material. Okay, so these are the checking criteria for the satisfactory design. Now, another conditions are there. If you please write down, if the resultant stress Fr, if the resultant stress comes out to be compressive in nature, the permissible compressive stress, the permissible compressive stress is given by that this value, Fc value, okay, is equal to 1 upon 12 into capital E upon root over 3 of 1 minus mu square into T upon d0 by 2, where E is the modulus of elasticity, and mu is nothing but the Poisson's ratio. And if it is not, if this condition fails, suppose Fc is greater than that of this expression, then you have to increase the thickness. Okay, you have to increase the thickness such that these equations become satisfied. Okay, so these are the two checking points for the satisfactory design. One is these Fa or axial stresses should be less than the tensile stress of the material if it comes out as a tensile force or tensile stress, and less than equal to the compressive stress of the material if Fa comes out to be as a compressive stress, and the Fr, this resultant stress, should be less than equal to the tensile stress of the material if it is in tensile in nature. Now, one thing we have to mention here, one not two things. That is, we know this expression. Okay, as for example, due to the internal pressure in a pressure vessel, the circumferential stress or the axial stress, we know these expressions. What are the expressions? Ft hoop stress. Okay, that is nothing but the PD by 2T. Or if I do the axial stress, so that is nothing but the PD by 4T. So these two stress is due to the these two stresses generated due to the internal pressure of the vessel. So these stresses are generated due to the internal pressure, PI or whatever. Now, these two stresses has to be resisted by the material, okay, or satisfactory design. These stresses must be withstand by the material of construction of vessel. So for each material, suppose the low carbon steel, steel, copper, zinc, or any other alloy has different values of the tensile stress or the compressive stress. So this tensile stress of the material or the compressive stress must be greater than or equal to these two generated stresses. So what value of the stresses is considered as a safe? Suppose in the uniaxial loading test, we know for any ductile material, okay, it may be uh, drawing is very tough in this pad. So suppose this one.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Sir, can you just switch back to slide number 30? Sir, 30. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
E equal to modulus of elasticity and Poisson's ratio. The value should be given and we have to check it. Okay, so now here is the stress. We know that is the stress and that is nothing but the strain. So you know this point. What is called this point? The maximum stress value of a material. This is nothing but the ultimate stress. It is called as ultimate stress, and these two point, okay, these two point is known as the lower yield point and higher yield point or yield stress, and that is the breakup or rupture point. So what stresses we consider as a safe or as a allowable stresses of a material? From this graph different stresses are there. Okay, up to this elastic limit, elastic stress, beyond that elastic stress, and beyond that, that is the highest amount of the or highest value of the stresses that can any material, any ductile material can withstand is nothing but the ultimate stress. Although these zone are totally plastic zone. So what stress we consider here as an allowable or permissible stress? So for that we introduce a parameter that is known as the factor of safety. For that we introduce a factor of safety. So the allowable stress, or sometimes it is given as the design stress, or maybe sometimes it can be written as the permissible stress. Okay, so these stresses may be expressed by the help of the factor of safety. Factor of safety is nothing but a number. So allowable stresses may be, if we consider, if we know the value of the ultimate stress of a material, suppose as for example the low carbon iron. Okay, so that may be the, if we know the ultimate stress divided by the factor of safety, and we choose factor of safety in such a way that the allowable stress value comes under the elastic limit. Okay, we will choose the factor of safety in such a way that the value of the allowable stress of the materials comes under this elastic limit. Otherwise, if it is not, then there must be a permanent deflection. Okay, so the material will be in the plastic zone and a rupture or the failure of the design will be occurred. Or we can also express the allowable stress or design stress by the help of the yield stress also. So the allowable stress may also be expressed like this, divided by the factor of safety. These two value of the factor of safety is not the same. That is why I given the subscript 1 and 2. The value will be different. Okay, if we consider the ultimate stress, so if OS value will be higher than the W. So by this we will define, or we will get the design stress, by which value you will take in the design of your problem, or allowable stress or permissible stress. And factor of safety, what is factor of safety? Factor of safety is a dimensionless number. Rather, or philosophically, we can tell about the factor of safety. It measures, philosophically, not engineering. Okay, definition. It measures our degree of ignorance. We don't know, due to the combined loading, how the material will behave. So that's why we introduce a factor of safety, okay, that is much below than that of the yield stress. So that's why we don't know how a material will behave under stresses. So that's why we introduce factor of safety. So in other words, or philosophically, it is our degree of ignorance about the material. Anyway, and another thing is, suppose you are asked to design a pressure vessel. Okay, suppose you are asked to design anything, design a vessel, storage vessel, whatever, a vessel of working pressure of working pressure of mm, 150 Newton per millimeter square. It's just a value. Okay. Now, a designer will design his vessel by not taking this value because our industrial demand is the material should be or the vessel should be. Again, there is a problem. Again, there is a problem. Just a minute. I don't know how it is happening. It will be just wipe out, not save. Yes. Anyway, it is good practice. You always write down. Anyway, what we are talking. Okay. So suppose the working pressure or the process needs 150 Newton per millimeter square. So a designer will not take this value, but you will increase the value by multiplying a parameter that is also known as the factor of safety for the safety purpose or for the more satisfactory safety purpose. So you will take the design pressure by multiplying this working pressure by a factor of 1.1. So in this case, we took, what will be the value? So here we took the factor of safety, okay, 10% more than that. Okay, so always we will take this factor of safety. If you want to take, if it is a very corrosive fluid or very high pressure operations, then this factor of safety may be 1.25, also 25% more, maybe 1.2, depending. If it is mentioned in your problem, you will take that value. If it is not, then you can take 10% more than that. You can take 1.15 or 1.12%. Okay, but we will never take 1.5 because it will unnecessarily increase the cost material. Because due to this factor of safety, the thickness of the material will be high. Definitely. So generally, if it is value if not given in the problem, you will take more than 10%, more than 20%, and you will completely mention that. Let's consider the factor of safety is 20% or more than 20% or more than 10%, whatever you want. So this is the thing. We have to multiply by the working pressure. So these two things is important. So one is the factor of safety for getting the allowable stresses, and also here the for the working pressure we can increase the design pressure by multiplying. We can consider the design pressure by multiplying 10% or 20% more than that of the working pressure. So these are the two main things you have to consider while designing a problem. Now I am writing a simple problem and Everybody be ready with the calculator and paper pen. Okay, very easy problem. You see the formulas last to last class I have given and try to solve it. Hmm. Suppose uh, and, suppose the D1, that is most conventional symbols DI. DI is the internal diameter. Consider it is 1.2 meter. And internal pressure. Internal pressure PI equal to 0.3 Newton per millimeter square. Okay, and suppose F is given as 130 Newton per millimeter square, sorry. Here I have given J value is around 0.85. Weight of the vessel, weight of vessel, suppose 3200 kg. It is also given that the torque produced due to which reason? Torque was produced due to offset piping or outside piping. Due to outside piping is 500 Newton meter. Also here consider no wind load. Wind load hai nahi. The wind load value at the bending moment produced by the wind is 0. So no wind load. No wind load. Now your task as a designer to find the thickness of the pressure vessel. The thickness, calculate the thickness. Calculate the thickness of vessel. If the C, you know the corrosion allowances, if C equal to 2 mm. So find the value of the T. T का वैल्यू क्या होगा ये निकालो. You know all the formulas. And one thing always in mind, keep in mind that the unit should be same, consistent. Unit should be consistent. And we will express the, again problem is there. कॉपी हो गया था. कॉपी इज ओवर. कॉपिंग द प्रॉब्लम. हेलो हेलो हेलो. Okay, fine. So, and another thing is that the thickness we will express here or we will write in the unit of millimeter, the thickness of the material, okay, in unit of millimeter, not centimeter. So I'm giving 5 minutes to solve, then I will show the process. Okay. Okay, please response. Roll number 1. Please response. Roll number 1,
Yes.
2, 4,